Welcome to my little space where heart and hook stitch up a place where we can together make a refuge, safe for all our sake. Hi, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Right after wrapping up editing my last video, I went out and photographed my flying spaghetti monster tote bag. And then just this morning, in what you see me here wearing, I went out and photographed my Trump in jail tote bag. So I'll go ahead and show you those two photo shoots here. I got silly with this one and demonstrated how you might want to carry some essentials in your Trump in jail bag. First, we've got Trans Pride Flying Spaghetti Monster, Bernie Sanders, Tim Walz, Albert Einstein, Edgar Allan Poe, Bertie Sanders, a clitoris, a banana, a porterhouse steak, gotta have your snacks, and of course, a Nana from my series of Nanas Against Trump and Fascism. And I thought I'd let you know what I have on the docket for the coming week. I have 2 mouth puppets that I need to finish. This is how much I've already made. I made these before I even got these orders for the mouth puppets. I just know that it's one of my best sellers. I have one more set sitting in my drawer, ready to go. So both of these are going to be for tongue-tied mouth puppets. One of them is my regular tongue-tied mouth puppet. But the other one, I have a couple of custom requests that I'm going to incorporate. So both of them need buttons, and I picked colors randomly because my customers didn't tell me what color they wanted, and they're both pink, but 2 different kinds of pink. So this will be for one puppet, this will be for the other. And then for the one that's going to have some customizing on it, what I'm going to do is the tongue ties, the front spot where it connects up to the button, I will put that there, but then I'm going to attach a second loop in the same spot that will stretch towards the second button, like halfway down the tongue. And then also she would like some pieces of crochet, one in the front center coming down and one each on the sides coming down, that will stitch up into this top panel here. So it will go through the pocket, but we really only need space for your thumb to go in there, so it should be fine. And what those are going to be, those are going to represent the muscles that come down, that the neck muscles that attach, I guess, like right under your tongue in different places. And it's so that she can show when there's a lot of tension in those neck muscles down here, it can kind of create like a false tongue position. So that's kind of cool. It seems like it should work fine. The way I envision doing it, I think it's going to work. So I also wanted to pick a new color for the muscles. And at first I was thinking maybe red, but we want to keep this like looking really sort of innocuous and friendly. So instead of going red, I'm going with like a darker pink, a darker vibrant pink for the muscles. So the whole thing, it's not going to look too creepy, I think. It's also not going to look like real muscles. It's just going to be like little pink tabs of crochet. Oh, and then just now I got an order from my most prolific customer, Alicia. She's getting a monarch butterfly cardigan. I'm really excited to make this. I just bought the pattern. Go check her out. I'll put the link to this pattern in the description box. But I'll bring you along with me as I dive into that. So my customer has chosen the pink that she wants. I have so much yarn that I actually had 3 different pink options with like enough skeins of it to make this. So, and I have plenty of black and white, which I also need. Good thing I stocked up previously, and I'm already gonna take a stab at, cutting a wedge into my yarn supply right here at the beginning of the year. So that's what I have in store for this week. I should get another Nana going as well, sooner than later. I don't like working up to the last minute like I did this time. Today is Wednesday, and I just now finished this morning the Nana that I'm going to post about in just a little bit. So, as a matter of fact, I should show you that photo shoot because I have my new Nana now. So here's that. Okay, so continuing with my little series of reels where I'm kind of sharing some numbers about 2025 and my business. I made 2 tongues for the mouth puppets that I'm doing. And while I was crocheting the first one, I took a little video of myself and I made it into a reel, giving you a little rundown of non-yarn expenses. This is stuff that I've purchased over the course of 2025 for my business as a full-time crocheter. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of fun. I believe these reviews actually span the past couple weeks. I just forgot to include them in last week's video. But I've been doing vlogs for long enough now that most of the items that you see me getting reviews on are items that I've actually made in these vlogs, like this pair of gloves right here. I just did this last night. to add more interest to my new shirts that I'm having printed. And on my next one, I will time it so that I know how much extra I should charge for it. So I'm going to go do a new photo shoot outside right now. Hello, I come to you kind of late at night on Thursday, and tomorrow I will be going down to my partner's house for the weekend, and so I will be bringing with me pink yarns, black and white, to make that monarch butterfly cardigan, or to start it. But before I get to that, I want to make my next Nana because I want to keep on top of that. Today, just now, I finished 3 tongue-tied mouth puppets. These 2 are regular ones, my normal mouth puppets with the tongue ties. As you can see, one of these is already reserved for a customer, and one of them will be back up, ready to ship. I'll put it in my drawers over there. And then this one is the one that has some extra customization that my customer asked for. By the way, my finger is just hurting, so I put a Band-Aid on it to give it some cushion, and also some like antibiotic ointment on this spot where my hook rests. Sometimes it just starts to get like worn down, like the tissue there between my skin and the bone, and it starts to hurt. I have not been wearing my little latexy finger cover like I should be, so I'm gonna start wearing that again. But keeping a Band-Aid on it for a couple days will help with that. But so the things that I added to this one, I just wanted to quickly go over it. So it's got the 3 buttons down the tongue like usual, but in the very front you can see that this tongue tie, there's the original one that I have on all my other mouth puppets that goes up to this button, and then there's another tongue tie that stretches over to this button. So this button has a tongue tie right below it, and also a tongue tie from the front that reaches to it. So there are different ways you can demonstrate all the stuff. I'm not an expert on breastfeeding or like speech. I'm not a speech pathologist at all, so I don't really know how people use my puppet, really. But oh, this is another thing. This customer was curious about, could I make it such that she could show the different palette shapes that people can have. And I explained, well, the puppet itself is all moldable, so like you can, you know, shape it however you want to show it. I don't know the different palette shapes, but you know, you can demonstrate to a person, you know, what you're trying to show them. And then the only other difference is, I'm sure you've already seen it, these hanging down here. There's one at the front, and then there's one on each side at about the second tongue tie back. And what these are, this is to signify the throat muscles and where they connect at the bottom of the mouth. And I stitched them all the way through both parts of this pocket. So it does condense the pocket. There's like less room, but all you need is room for your thumb. So there's still lots of room for that. And I guess, like I said, I'm not an expert. She wants to be able to show that when there's tension on these muscles down here, look, it like, you know, it can kind of create a false tongue tie. See how it pulls down? So that's what I've done. These are the muscles. And I went with like a hot pink or brighter pink instead of red. I already explained that earlier, I remember now. But so there we have it. my customized mouth puppet. I'm always happy to do that, as long as it's, you know, if it's not like crazy much more work, then I'm happy to just add in something that somebody wants to see on there, for no extra charge is what I was going to say. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to get started on a Nana. I'm going to do it the same way I did the last one, where I'm going to be just grabbing a random ball from my bag of scraps, and I will set my random number generator to help me decide how many rows of each color that I grab to do. So once again, I did the blanket stitch with some cotton yarn on this version of my new printed merch, and I went out this morning and photographed it anew so I can have a second listing in my shop for it with this stitching. So here's that photo shoot. As you can see, I'm wearing my finger cover because I need to protect my finger. I've got one leg of a Nana down. Doing the last few rows of this, I recorded myself for a new little reel. This one, I'm showing how much I paid Etsy in off-site Etsy ads. Now, I've never opted to pay for ads, but when your shop has earned more than $10,000 in the past 365 days, you are automatically enrolled in the Etsy offsite ads program. And what that means is they don't take any money until a sale is made. And if somebody clicks on one of their ads, so say you see my item being advertised to you on Google. If you click on that and it takes you to my shop to look at the item, but then you leave and you don't come back for up to 30 days. I think it's 30 days. I'll double check. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself in editing. If you purchase something that you've clicked on within 30 days, then they charge me a higher fee than usual for that sales transaction. So for typically the fee is, I'm trying to think, 6.5%, unless you use a specific link that I give you, or you get the link, you go to my shop from like one of my social media platforms where I have my links, then they refund and I only end up having to pay like 2.5%. So that's great. I do my calculations for my pricing based on that 6.5%, and I oftentimes forget about this forest ad campaign that I can't opt out of, and they give me and they take from me 12% of every sale made, and it is capped at $100 per sale. But so if the percentage is greater than that, they only keep 100. None of my items are that expensive that 12% is $100. But so that's kind of somewhat significant. So I'll show you. I'm a little bit torn as to whether I really hate this or not. It has brought in more sales for me, but they are keeping a larger percentage. So the thing that would really, really bother me is if I get really popular to the point where, like I was kind of in 2020, where I was getting such a long wait list that I had to spend months to catch up on it. if I'm at that point, it makes no sense for me to be having to earn less money because Etsy is advertising it somewhere else when I already can't keep up with the demand. So that's where I hope to get back to. And if I get to that point, I might have to decide to ditch Etsy at that point. But right now, it's kind of a toss-up. Yeah, they're keeping more, but they're also getting me more sales. So with that said, I'll show you this little reel that I put together. Okay, hold the phone. I feel like an idiot. I totally forgot that I had set up an ad campaign on Etsy. I think I probably did that like back when my shop first like took a bad plunge and I was trying to make it better. And I set it up for as little as like the smallest amount I could, which was $1 per day. So, oh my gosh, no wonder. Okay, my ad fees that I've been paying would be so much smaller if I wasn't doing that. So I actually just canceled that just to see, because I think I'm getting enough business without running ads. At least, you know, intentionally ads, like ads that I have a choice about. So yeah. So it's not as bad as I thought. I thought that Etsy's forced offsite ads program was costing me like $400 something last year, but it really is only like 90 because the rest of that was my ad campaign that I chose to do and then forgot about for the past few years. So yeah, this year won't be as much because now I'm not doing that $1 per day, and I'll see. I don't think that'll negatively affect my shop. I think I get enough sales of people just finding my items. I really don't think that the ad campaign brought in very much. There's probably a way to see that exactly on Etsy, but yeah. So now I will go fix the numbers in my reel and get that ready to post, and I'll show you now here. I don't know whether this was worth it. What do you think? So I've spent $368.91 over the course of 2025, and that got me 1,336 extra in sales. I didn't account for that in my prices, so it kind of sucks in my opinion. Especially since a bunch of the things that I regularly sell seem to be so niche that I think that even without running any ads voluntarily on my part, the customers who come to Etsy looking for my type of things are gonna find my listings. I'm pretty sure, like the custom dolls, the mouth puppets. So yeah, I have it turned off now. Okay, so continuing to be inspired by Promising Young Woman, that movie. The last Nana I made was named after Emerald Fennell. This one is going to be named after Carrie Mulligan. So there we go. And this is more of that sequin yarn. And now I'm going to set up my phone and take a little video of myself that I can turn into a reel showing this time how much money I spent shipping things at the USPS in 2025. So I'll get that put together and I'll include it right now. Well, I'm back home from the weekend away at my partner's house, and I just thought I would show you what I have to show you. So this is a little steak man that I made a while ago. and it's been sitting in a drawer ready to ship, and somebody finally bought a steak man. I sold a couple right off the bat, so when I first came up with this design, so I just made another one at one point, just to have it on hand, even though my listing does say made to order. So this one I have ready to ship right away. So tomorrow I will be shipping. I have 2 mouth puppets and this guy to ship. And then to get ahead on my nanas for this week, this is the one that will be released on Wednesday. Today's only Sunday, but so this is going to be Nana. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name now. Nana Carey. This is Nana Carey. This is number 65. Nana's Against Trump and Fascism. And I was particularly inspired. I've seen her before in other things and loved her in other things as well. But in particular, the movie, as I said last week, Promising Young Woman, I wanted to name one after her. So this one is, I love it. I just love it. The random ball that I picked for the fancy sort of frilly yarn in between was this black, and it's just really scruffy and hard to work with. So I actually used a needle and I embroidered instead of crocheted top stitching. And it was hell to work with, but I decided to just go ahead and use it for all of the spots. And I really like the look of it. I really like the look. And I gave her this sort of a star type of thing right there. So this will be available in my shop. And I think I haven't listed the other one yet as well from last week. So I need to list a couple more in my shop. I have a lot of nanas available. Help me raise funds for the ACLU. They're doing good work, especially during these kinds of times. So there's that. And the other thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take care of this right now because I want to photograph this tomorrow anew. I've already photographed this as you see it right now, but I'm going to use this cotton yarn and I'm going to embroider a blanket stitch around the neckline like I have done on the other two. So this I plan to photograph tomorrow after I get that blanket stitch done tonight. So that's what I'm going to do next. And then after that, I'm going to jump back into working on this monarch butterfly sweater cardigan. I guess the pattern designer was calling this a sweater if you do it as like a closed in the front, like 2 solid panels front and back, but I'm doing it open in the front, so she was calling it a cardigan. So I'll call it monarch cardigan. And that's what we have so far. This has been really fun so far. So this will be the front left panel that goes down the sleeve like that, opening in the center front. So I love how this is looking. This is really fun to follow. Here's the back side if you're curious what the back side looks like. I mean, it's definitely not pretty, but it's actually quite put together because it's not, I don't have any long strands going between the color changes, because I'm doing a stitch over the strands every few stitches, as she indicates to do in the pattern. This is a pattern like none that I've ever followed before. It's first of all, it's just a big chart, a big graph of the stitches to do, which reminds me a lot of following like a cross stitch pattern. So it really kind of scratches that itch, the cross stitch itch. And the website that she has it loaded onto, I'm assuming you can only use it with the link that's given to you. Like you can only get to it probably if you have that specific link that's in the pattern that you purchase. I will link to the pattern in the description. But this, now I forgot what the website is called, but it's really nice because like you highlight the row that you're on, and then as you go, you complete that row, you just click up and it clicks it up to the next row. So you can keep track of that way. So you don't have to constantly be going, oh gosh, what row am I on? Which is how I always used to do cross stitch, because I was always doing it from a book or from a piece of paper, because I started cross stitch back before the internet, or at least before internet was a thing in my household. So this has been fun. That website makes it kind of a breeze. And working with 3 yarns, I just have to keep a lookout on my yarns and make sure that they're not getting tangled, and detangle them as I go. But this is fun. I did all of this today. So I think I can easily do I can probably do the whole thing in 4 days or less, because I'm definitely going to finish, I think I'm definitely going to finish half of the front tonight. And I can probably do like at least a quarter of the cardigan each day, possibly more. So we'll see. I'm doing the front left side right now without timing it, but then I will time myself making the front right side, so that way I can, because I want to make this pattern again. I already want to make this pattern again. I'm only like less than a quarter of the way through. So I'll time myself making the front right side, and then I'll multiply that by 2, and then I will time myself making the back, which is basically the 2 same at the front, but with some rows in between to go all the way across the back. Because I want to properly price it for my shop. I'm pretty sure I underpriced it for my customer, but that's okay. First time around, I'm always a little bit like tentative. I don't want to overcharge. So I oftentimes, the first time I make a new pattern, I oftentimes do undercharge, just because I'm overly careful to not overcharge. But then I time myself while I'm making it, and if it turns out that it's something that I want to make again, then I can properly price it going forward. And I have now the once I've done that, I'll have like good modeled photographs of it that I can use. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. And tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow's editing day, and I can't believe we're already getting close to wrapping up this video. But for sure, tomorrow morning I'll get the shirt photographed, so I'll be showing you that probably next. We are now into February, so I will be using these little hearts as my little freebie gift from now on for the next 9 months. And look at my dog. Okay, I'm heading out to the post office, and I'm gonna be brave and test this out. I've got my Trump bag with my packages in there. This is a reddish part of California, a pretty red part of California. There are pockets of red in California, and I'm in one, so I'm just gonna go in there and be brave with my Trump behind bars bag. It is now Monday. I've got my second cup of cold protein coffee here. I've gone to the post office, as you saw. I photographed this again, as you saw, since I added this stitching. And if you didn't guess already, I didn't finish this panel like I thought I would last night. And I should have assumed that I should have known the last few rows are going to take a lot longer than the first few, because look how narrow it is at the beginning. So, you know, I'm making pretty fast progress, and then it gets wider and wider, and then each row takes longer and longer to make when it gets to this length. So I still have this to finish. I think I will finish that today. And then I also today need to go out and do some yard work. So I'm charging the mower battery so I can do that. And I think I better sign out so that, because the other thing I still need to do is edit this video so that I can post it tomorrow. Thank you for joining me again. If you made it all the way to the end, tell me something about Trump being in jail in the comments. Crochet hooks and colors bright, crafting wonders day and night. Join the fun, come see it through, subscribe and I'll create for you.